Have you ever had one of those nights? It's 3 a.m., you are completely exhausted, but your mind just will not shut off. It's replaying conversations, it's worrying about tomorrow, it's just filling you with anxiety. Well, according to Eckhart Tolle, the real source of our suffering isn't what's happening around us, but the tormentor that lives inside our own heads. Today, we're going to dive into his incredible guide, The Power of Now, to learn how to break out of this mental prison and find some real peace in the only moment we ever truly have.
Okay, so to get us started, Tolle tells this brilliant little story. Picture a beggar who's been sitting on an old box by the road for over 30 years. One day, a stranger walks by and asks him, "What are you sitting on?" And the beggar just shrugs, "Oh, nothing, just an old box I've had forever." The stranger insists, Have you ever looked inside?" So the beggar, probably a little annoyed but curious, manages to pry it open. And what's inside? It is absolutely filled with gold. He'd been begging for his whole life while sitting on a massive treasure. Tolle's point is, we are all just like that beggar, completely unaware of the immense treasure we're carrying inside ourselves.
So where does all this suffering really come from? This first section gets right to the heart of the problem, that non-stop tormenting voice in our own minds.
I mean, we've all been there, right? It's that internal narrator that just never, ever stops. It's constantly speculating, judging, complaining, comparing, and of course, worrying. It's either digging up the past or rehearsing some imaginary, often catastrophic future. It's like a constant soundtrack of mental noise that just drowns out any chance we have of feeling the peace of this very moment. But here's the thing, this isn't just some harmless daydreaming. Tolle argues this compulsive thinking is basically a disease, a full-blown addiction. This tormentor in your head continuously attacks you. It punishes you and it drains you of your life energy. And the crazy part is, we think we are this voice. But here's the good news, and this is the real key to our freedom. We're not.
So how on earth did Tolle figure all this out? Well, it wasn't from reading a book or going to a lecture. It came from a moment of profound personal crisis that led to a totally life-changing awakening.
See, before his awakening, Eckhart Tolle was in his late 20s and he was suffering from these long, terrible periods of suicidal depression. He describes one night where he woke up with a feeling of dread so intense that he hated everything, but most of all he hated his own existence. He just felt like he was carrying this unbearable burden of misery, this pointless struggle.
And then, right in that moment of absolute rock-bottom despair, this thought just popped into his mind. I cannot live with myself anymore. Now, at first, it seems like just another negative thought, but something about it was different. It completely stopped him in his tracks.
This is where it all clicked. He thought, wait a minute, if I cannot live with myself, then who is who? There must be two of me. You've got the I, the conscious watcher, and then you have the myself, that made-up story in his head that he just couldn't stand anymore. In that instant, he realized the myself was the fiction, and the I, that was his true self. And this realization was so powerful, it just completely switched off his thinking.
So that silent watcher he discovered, that's what Tolle calls being. It's our true nature. It's the conscious presence that exists underneath all of that mental noise. It's the silent witness. You can't really grasp it with your mind, but you can definitely feel it when you become present. And he says that regaining awareness of this being, well, that's what enlightenment is all about.
But the mind isn't the only thing causing trouble. What about our emotions? You know, those sudden waves of anger or sadness? Well, Tolle says that our unhealed emotional wounds create their own kind of monster, the pain body.
Just think about every single emotional pain you've ever experienced that you didn't fully face and accept in the moment. Tolle says that pain doesn't just vanish. It leaves behind this residue, which then merges with other old pain to form a negative energy field inside you. And that is the pain body. It's like a dormant emotional monster that's just living inside ourselves.
So how does this monster get activated? It's a really vicious cycle. First, some minor event triggers it. It could be a stray comment, a critical look from someone. Second, that dormant pain body awakens. Third, you have a massive, totally outsized emotional overreaction. A tiny disagreement with your partner suddenly explodes into a huge screaming match, and you're bringing up stuff from 10 years ago. And finally, the pain body absolutely loves this. It feeds on the drama and the negativity. It gets stronger, and then it goes dormant again, just waiting for the next trigger.
So how in the world do you defeat this monster? Here's the really counterintuitive part. You don't fight it. Fighting it only feeds it with more of the negative energy it loves. The secret is to simply watch it.
The moment you notice it and you can say to yourself, ah, okay, the pain body is active in me right now, you break your identification with it. You become the watcher again. And this conscious presence is like a light that just dissolves the darkness.
Okay, so we've identified the tormentor in our head and the monster in our gut. How do we actually escape them? This section is all about the practical, hands-on methods for accessing the peace and power of the present moment.
Tolle gives us several really simple but incredibly powerful tools. He calls them portals that let us enter the now. We're going to explore 3 of them, using your breath, your own body, and even the most routine, everyday actions to find a little bit of peace.
The first portal is your breath. Now, why the breath? It's because you can't breathe yesterday and you can't breathe tomorrow. Your breath is always happening right here, right now. Just feeling the air move in and out of your body is enough to anchor you in the present. And when your mind inevitably wanders, you don't judge it, you just gently bring your attention back.
The next portal is your inner body. This is all about shifting from thinking about your body to actually feeling the aliveness within you. A great way to start is with your hands. Can you feel that subtle energy or tingling sensation inside them? That feeling is a direct doorway out of your mind and into the present moment.
In fact, let's try it for just a second. Wherever you are, just bring your attention to the inside of your hands. Don't think about them, just feel them. Can you sense that subtle tingling or that feeling of aliveness in them? That feeling right there is a direct connection to your being. It's a portal into presence that is always available to you, no matter what's happening on the outside.
And the third portal is any routine action. Brushing your teeth, washing your hands, taking a walk. All you have to do is give that action your full, undivided attention. Feel the bristles in your teeth, the water on your hands, the ground beneath your feet. When you do that, you turn something mundane into a meditation, stepping out of your thoughts and into reality.
So we have the tools to find the now. But what happens when the now is unpleasant? When life gets really hard. This is where Tolle's most profound teaching comes into play, the incredible power of surrender. Now, when we hear the word surrender, we usually think of defeat or just giving up. But that's not at all what Tolle means. True surrender is an inner state of non-resistance to what is. It's about saying yes to the present moment, no matter what it looks like. It's actually a state of incredible inner strength, not weakness.
Just imagine you're stuck in a massive traffic jam. Resistance is the anger, the tension, the honking. You're literally creating your own suffering. Surrender, on the other hand, is just accepting the isness of the moment. The traffic is the same, but you are internally at peace.
And this idea isn't new, this is ancient wisdom. The Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote this almost 2,000 years ago. It's the wisdom of accepting that this moment is exactly as it should be. Not because it's always pleasant, but because it is. Fighting it is like fighting reality itself, and that is a battle you can never, ever win.
In the end, it really all comes down to this. The past is gone, and the future is just an illusion. Your only point of power is right here, in this very moment. So I'll leave you with this question. What would change in your life, starting right now, if you simply stopped resisting this moment? The answer to that could be the beginning of a whole new way of being. Thank you so much for joining me.